across cities, triggering several countries, including Australia, to issue travel warnings. The unrest was triggered by last week's knife attack that killed 3 children in the town of Southport. Riots broke out around the country after false reports spread online about the origin of the attacker. Deutsche Welle correspondent Kate Ferguson joins us now from Berlin. Kate, what's the situation like right now?
Well, it's still very tense. There have been some horrific attacks over the past few days, mainly across northern and central England. We've seen hotels housing asylum seekers being set on fire. Mosques have been attacked, as have individuals just going about their daily business. There was a particularly shocking incident caught on video in the city of Hull, where a mob of white men attacked a car. They hurled missiles at it. They used tools to prise open the door to get at the Eastern European occupants inside. Now, there's also been trouble in the Northern Irish capital of Belfast. A man there in his 50s was seriously injured in a racist assault. Witnesses say they saw attackers stamping on his head. Now, these are vicious attacks. They're being organised online and spurred in many cases, as you mentioned, by misinformation. For immigrant communities in the UK, for Muslims as well, this is a really frightening time.
And how are authorities responding?
Well, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has come out very strongly. He's condemned the violence, calling it far-right thuggery with no resemblance to legitimate protest. He says those responsible will regret their actions. Now, in terms of concrete measures, specialist police officers have been deployed on the streets, mosques are being given extra protection, and hundreds of people have already been arrested, including some accused of spurring the violence online. Interestingly as well, a judge also made the decision to waive the anonymity of the 17-year-old suspect accused of murdering those 3 children in Southport. He was, contrary to the misinformation spread online, not an asylum seeker. He was in fact born in Britain to Rwandan parents and has no known links to Islam.
And just how big a problem is far-right violence right across Europe?
It's a serious problem. In both Germany and France, far-right attacks are rising. And in both countries, it's not just immigrants or Muslims that are being targeted, but also politicians of a more liberal persuasion, you could say. And at the same time, support for far-right political parties is also increasing, whether that's the Alternative for Germany here or the National Rally in France. And in fact, that potential link between political rhetoric and violence, that has come under scrutiny in Europe, because in the UK, some of the rioters were heard chanting, "Stop the boats." Now, that's a slogan that previous Conservative government had used to describe its immigration policy. So overall, right-wing sentiment, it's increasing across Europe. We saw that in the European elections earlier this year. And as this unrest shows in the UK, that anger, which is often spurred by misinformation, that can spill into violence very quickly.
OK, Kate Ferguson reporting there from Berlin. The cost of living crisis has been weighing on millions of households for some